I wrote the world's first ebook on how to build muscle and get shredded with type 1 diabetes. And those ebooks have made me over £693,000 to date. My name is Phil Graham, and I help build the world's most successful and stable fitness businesses. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to unpack your knowledge and experience of nutrition and training and getting in shape and pour it into your own low ticket offer or fitness ebook that will ultimately set you up to make a shit ton of cash, help you change a lot of lives, and build extreme authority in your marketplace. So, first things first, why write an ebook? Well, here's what you need to realize about ebooks. They aren't the main thing that you're selling. In fact, they're just an entry into your world. Let's zoom out for a second and get a triangle. This is your empire of products. At the very base is products that are information based. Information is courses, ebooks, anything that somebody comes along, picks up, reads, and consumes. There's no involvement from you. They do it themselves. The next level up is products that are based around implementation. And this is typically where you bring in group coaching, online coaching, where you check in with a client and you ultimately tell them what to do. And then the top level of your empire is called access. And this is where people pay you to come and speak on stage, pay you to come and do corporate stuff, and they ultimately pay you for the highest level of service. Now, I want to talk today about the information side of things, particularly ebooks. So here's what you need to realize. When you create an ebook, you create a low barrier to entry. So whenever I created my ebooks, I got very clear, first of all, on the market that I wanted to help. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes whenever I was 16. I very quickly realized that there was no good quality information on how to build muscle and get jacked as a young guy. So I had to go and read all the stuff that was outside of my niche and try to figure it out and make it work for me. Now, here's the thing. So many of the same principles applied, and that's going to be the same for you. So if you look at your goals, your interests, and if you go and read around and apply them to your own specific tastes, circumstances, scenarios, you're just really twisting around principles to fit your own identity or whatever goals that you have. So I read around, I did some broad research, and then I narrowed it in. And there was a gap in the marketplace, and I said, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a muscle building ebook, and it's going to be full of nutrition plans, training plans, and essentially how to evaluate when you're building muscle, when you're stalling, and how to essentially create continual progress. So it was almost like a pathway. And that's the first and most important thing that you need to realize is ebooks are micro pathways to a result. So I got clear on my niche, I got clear on the problem, I researched broad, I narrowed it in, and I built it into a time frame, a 16-week ebook. So it was packaged as a micro solution to a problem. Now here's the thing, every single time somebody bought one of these, guess what they had to do? They had to read it. Now, this is a big fact, and I really shouldn't be sharing this with you, but most of the people that buy books don't read them. Most of the people that buy courses don't read them. And that sets you up to give them something else. Now, whenever I wrote the ebooks, I wanted people to read them. So I created trackers, I created guides. I also complemented it with a Facebook group. I asked questions in it, and I used it to drive accountability, check-ins, and also results, which I could use for my social media and marketing. Now, I wanted that book to solve a problem. I wanted it to take the thinking out of how to work out, how to eat, and ultimately how to measure progress. But I secretly wanted it to solve a problem, but create another problem. And that other problem was bigger. And you know what that problem was? Is recipes. One of the biggest challenges of getting in shape is not knowing how to put food together and how to create great recipes. So I decided to write the exercise, training, and nutrition plans, but then also create an additional ebook that was essentially meal swaps or my favorite recipes, packed around desserts, lunch, menu, snacks, and all of that stuff. Back then, whenever I wrote the ebooks in 2016, protein bars weren't a thing. So I taught people how to make their own protein bar snacks using peanut butter and all natural ingredients and all this other stuff. So when somebody bought the actual solution or 16-week game plan, I actually positioned the recipes as an order bump or upsell. You know, like whenever you go to the petrol station and you go to put in your fuel and then you go to pay for it, and there's chewing gum and all this kind of other stuff around the counter. These are called order bumps. You know, whenever you buy a holiday and somebody then offers you insurance, basically what we're doing is we're going deeper into the customer wallet with services or products that are going to complement the original thing that they bought and are going to help solve a bigger problem than the original problem that the first item they first invested in was going to solve. So I solved the workout and training and nutrition programs. Then I offered them the ability to look at different recipes and incorporate them into their lives. But guess what I then did after that? I then created another problem. Because whenever you build muscle and you bulk up, guess what happens? Sometimes you gather a little bit of puppy fat. We talk about the 2 seasons of bulking and cutting. So, going through a season of bulking, what happens? You get to a point where you realize that you're big enough, you've got enough muscle, and then you want to cut down. And that is when, after they went through the first series of buying the muscle building ebook into the cookbooks, they were then presented with the opportunity going, hey, after you've built all your muscle, you can then decide whether or not you want to cut and reveal all the hard muscle that you just built during your mass gain season. So essentially, I solved one problem, created another problem with the recipes, but solved it, but then created the problem of, hey, what do I do now? And if you're building a great physique, you'll know that you go through seasons of bulk, cut, bulk, cut, bulk, cut, and seasons of enjoying food, seasons of tightening up, etc., especially before summer, etc., all those kind of things. So I created the complementary opposite to the book and created a series of get shredded guides, get shredded recipes, and those were essentially my ebooks. And I even took it a step further and built an absolute encyclopedia on everything around diabetes, health, medications, muscle building, fat loss, bodybuilding, nutrition, sporting events, literally every scenario that you can imagine. So it was like these ebooks were a taste of my world, and I was charging 17 to 29 quid for them. And the ebooks were the same price. Then there was the ability to buy the package of fat loss stuff, and this also was vice versa as well. So you could go in and buy the fat loss stuff. The fat loss recipes then be presented with the muscle building, because not everybody wants to bulk. Most people want to cut, and they were reversed around. And then it led into, hey, do you want to buy the main encyclopedia, the main book? Once they bought the main book, I then upsold them again into an online community where every single month I did live trainings, interactions, brought guests in around the world to sell them further insights on relevant topics, like how to get in shape at Christmas, how to get in shape from holiday, how to get back in gear after a holiday, what to do during the winter months, and popular topics and subjects and new supplements that would come out, and I would talk about the research. So, say for example, something was in the paper around, creatine damages your organs. I would create a training around that. So I would always have relevant insights to keep my clients educated. And on top of those, there were offers where you could buy it for a month, you could buy it for 12 months, and if you got it for 12 months, then you got a free shaker, a free t-shirt. And once I knew that people got deeper into the funnel, the more serious they were as a client, which then presented the option for one-on-one consulting and coaching. And I remember doing high ticket coaching with one of the top dietitians in the world, a guy called John Pemberton. And we built this insane cohort of high ticket coaching for people with type 1 diabetes. So they went through the whole funnel of consuming my free information online, to consuming my cookbook, my muscle building guides, then the polar opposite fat loss guides, then the encyclopedia, then the membership, and then one-on-one coaching. So there was literally like a full pathway. And this pathway does one thing. It increases your customer lifetime value. You see, what a lot of people don't realize is that your best leads are your current list of buyers. Your best customers are your current customers. So when you extend and expand and increase lifetime value, your business becomes more profitable. And the ebooks that I created were positioned as entries into my world where people could try something with very little expense. Like $17, $29, whatever they were, was not a big price point to pay. And they could come in and get insights and information that they could never get anywhere else. And they could use that to get a taste of my world. And then if they wanted to, they could take the next thing and the next thing. But I was giving them the opportunity to buy these services and these solutions when they made the commitment to raise their hand and go and buy an ebook. So that is one of the most important principles to realize, is that informational products are a great way to get people into your world, to get them to understand what you're about, to understand the quality and depth of your insight. But those informational products don't necessarily solve a problem, they soothe an itch. The bigger itch is actually the implementation, and that presents you the opportunity to build a high ticket offer. Now, I hear some people saying that, high ticket offers are a scam and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's coming from people that usually have just a low ticket offer that is going dry. If you look at all the top fitness professionals in the world that have got membership sites, they don't last. That's why they're going into other services like mentoring, consulting, and everything else. And that is why majority of them, well, the smart ones, have a higher level offer. And that is usually around coaching, working with their coaching team, a series of specialists, and that is really where the money is made. And that is essentially in helping drive implementation. Implementation is essentially worth a lot of money. So when somebody's able to pick up a phone or check in or email and get one-to-one support, that costs time to build that team. It also costs time to advertise to these people. And in many ways, the low ticket offers, which is pretty much anything below 100 quid in my eyes, is designed to liquidate and cover the cost of advertising. So let's paint out a very simple funnel. If you were to create an ebook around a specific subject or topic and charge, let's say 19 bucks, 19 quid for it, that would be a low barrier of entry into your world. Then you were going to put a cookbook with it that was designed for, you know, whatever it is, recipes that coincided with the goal. You could charge an additional like 15 quid. Then you were going to do the polar opposite for, let's just say, the opposite goal, mass gain or fat loss, irrespective of what way it goes. You would then charge 97 for the whole entire system. Then into your high ticket coaching, which would be a call where you would get them on a call and sell them into something at maybe a grand. Those little components actually draw people deeper into your world. Now, you can also offer your high level coaching straight off the bat, but a lot of people are going to be skeptical to jump on it because they might not know you, they might not trust you, and they might just need to experience some of your material first. And I must say that all of this comes from your free content online. The biggest fear that most people have with content is, I don't want to give away my free stuff because my clients are going to get pissed off. Guess what? You give away fragments of your free stuff. Like if you look at this channel, there is so much gold on it. In fact, pretty much all the mentorships in the UK and Europe are run by people that are ex-clients of mine. And I can guarantee you that their entire course material is actually on this channel. But the biggest challenge with all of that, despite having all of this stuff free, is that it's not in a linear pathway. There is no opportunity to get support when you're stuck and your limiting beliefs kick in. When your limiting beliefs kick in, you need to resolve them fast. And you can only do that by having smart people around you. And that comes at a cost. That is why high ticket coaching is typically more expensive than an ebook, because there's cost involved in the fulfillment. You buy an ebook once, there's no real cost other than advertising. Now, where do you sell this stuff? Typically, you put it on a sales page and you write the copy. You'll need to have good quality graphics showing all of your stuff, good quality reviews, and well-written copy. And if you're not a great copywriter, hire a great copywriter to do it. Honestly, copywriting is one of the most valuable skills that you can learn. You can then connect up all the order bumps and upsells in a flow. I would recommend that you use something along the lines of Lucid Chart to map out what your funnel would look like and look at all the different order bumps and upsells. And if you want a really good example of this, go to diabeticmuscleandfitness.com, plug in your details, see it, and go and copy what I've done. Back in the thick of my personal training and fitness career, I was all in on diabetic muscle and fitness. And now I've moved to B2B. I don't do the high ticket coaching anymore or even run that community in diabetic muscle and fitness. I may return to it one day, but my work is done there. That is my legacy. My book still sells every day. My ebooks still sell every day. And we've created literally 300 plus hours of membership site content that sits on the internet, that is easily discoverable, and people go and click on it every single day and buy. If you just go into Google, type in, can diabetics take protein? Can diabetics take creatine? These were all key questions that my market was asking. So you want to be able to build free content around the questions that your market is asking, position yourself with the most amount of value and insight, and then direct people towards where they can buy your products and services, and they can get condensed, consolidated insight, information, and implementation / support to help them achieve their goals. So how do you write an ebook? Well, it's really, really simple. The first thing that you need to consider is, who are you trying to be a hero to? And what is the end result of going through your ebook? Get very clear on that. For me, it was a 16-week plan. By the end of this ebook, you will have doubled your strength. You will have added at least 5 pounds of muscle mass. And those goals changed with the fat loss. I wanted you to lose at least 10 pounds of body fat. I wanted you to be able to see your abs and lift double your body weight off the floor. So you get very, very clear on what success looks like after a short stint. Communicate a time frame, really important, because people want results in X time. It makes it more sellable. And if you can communicate that result in that time frame, you have to provide a linear pathway. So what I did inside the ebooks was I did them in 4-week blocks. I did 4 different phases, give them 4 different names, and I adjusted the nutrition and adjusted the training, and I put in exceptions. And then I also taught people how to measure success, how to measure their weight, how to measure their performance, how to know when they were winning, how to know when they were losing, how to know how to rectify things. I also give them support and accountability inside a Facebook group, and typically that was all the people that bought the books wanted to support and teach each other. And last but not least, I created a killer community of people that were getting that insight and put it together. So the ebook is pretty simple. Write it from start to finish, write it in phases, write it over a time period, give them everything that they need, and pretend that you're just writing it for yourself. Make sure you've got good quality images. I use Shutterstock for a lot of my images. Make sure that the sales page is well written, and talk about the big questions and problems that your market have every single day, and point them in the direction of where to get it. And for all of you listening to this right now, I would encourage you, after people buy your low ticket offer, to communicate with them on email. So once they buy that, you then communicate to them twice a week on email with insights, stories, lessons, social proof, and you continually make them offers to get on a call, to come into your high-tech coaching services. After they buy the ebooks, I recommend that you offer them, hey, would you like some additional help or one-on-one support to help you achieve goals? And offer them a call. And heck, you can even discount or give them free the ebooks that they've just bought. So say you're going to charge 1K or 1.5K for your high ticket coaching, you can discount 97 quid off it, but you just got 97 quid in order to get access to 1,500 quid or whatever it is that you decide to charge for your services. Because people are skeptical and they don't just want to go online and pay 1,500 quid. They might not know you. So getting them into your world and essentially letting them raise their hand by buying something is a great way to offer them something else. So if you were to come to my house and say you were hungry, you'd probably be afraid to ask. If I said to you, hey, would you like a cookie? You're going to say, yeah. You're not going to ask me for, hey, can I have a glass of milk with that? But if I say to you, hey, would you like a glass of milk with that? You're more likely to say yes. People struggle to ask for help. And when they struggle to ask for help, guess what? They don't buy. That's why McDonald's always asks you, would you like to go large with that? So always be willing to make offers and help people to the full extent that you can. Anyway, let me know what stands out in this video for you. Ebooks are a point of entry into your world. Remember the 3 different points of product and services: information, implementation, access. You get paid most for access to you, and you get paid least for the information, but the information is designed to feed everything up to your group coaching program and access to you. If you want insight on how to build an amazing online coaching business, check out this video. It's loaded. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, you're losing money. Do it right away if you run a fitness business.